This video has been sponsored by, well, as you know it, Dumpy Energy. Get your awesome gamer need and move aside. G-Fuel, we got a new sheriff in town, and that's Dumpy Energy. Use my code, DragonFam94, to pick up your awesome energy through any source of gaming or energy through of your hard sessions or just through your day. And use DragonFam94 for 10% off your purchase. And thank you for Dumpy Energy for sponsoring this video. Greetings, my Dragonized Dragonborns and Dragon Gang. Like this, Dragonborn, Dragon Sage. I think you already got the memo. And welcome to BurgerTime. I actually remember this game from at least when I was a little kid. I don't remember how long ago. And of course, I think it's one of those rare gems from the NES category or the library. Now, of course, much is mentioned here, at least for as I know. Now, I'm going to end up linking a video in the description below talking about BurgerTime. And of course, I think it's, BurgerTime, it's definitely one of those rare NES games I can end up picking up or try out. Now, of course, I'm not really good at the game, and I am probably end up showing up right about now, like, thanks to at least the recording of the video that I have taken. And of course, it's probably a little bit edited around, as usual, but just to show off at least the levels and stuff, because I haven't gotten far, at least past the second level. And it is like I think it was mostly like a little bit of a arcade. Now, here's a little bit of music of the SNES right about now. And that's just at least to show a little bit of an example of a very old game, as from the SNES library, which honestly is really cool. And of course, I know you kind of see me constantly dying here because, yeah, it's just really hard because now, of course, I am playing on an emulator now, and I don't know what was going on, but like a couple times when I was actually trying to at least move the character around on my D-pad, because that's where I was basically mapping in it, for some reason it just didn't want to move. Like, I was like not pushing hard enough or making sure it's like, like it just, the character just stayed in one spot. And of course, the graphics, you can actually, it's like one of those wild imaginations. And of course, yes, you can probably see here, I guess somehow the SNES made the patties, I guess, like vegan, maybe? I don't know. Or maybe it's just some seasonings of the meat. And, that's just, I guess, how limited the SNES capability was. And I don't remember as much, but I know, like, at least when it came through, at least the 80s, and of course there are a lot of other versions of BurgerTime. This one, I think it was kind of close, but I don't know if it actually fully is, achieved, or at least gotten there. So, but yeah, again, BurgerTime is still a good game. It's just hard. And I get it, the developers didn't want to make, the game too easy. So it would make, a lot of sense. And, and of course, as I probably did show a little earlier, if I not, I'll probably end up showing it now, that, basically, how much each level is. And of course, I'll link that video in the description below, just in case if you're a little bit more curious or want to try out for yourself. But, it is pretty fun, at least for like a weekend or having some friends. And yes, you can actually have 2 players. And, BurgerTime, in my personal opinion, it's still a good game. I'm not saying, it's, bad. Of course, this is the SNES. And yes, as you end up seeing right now, if you have any way of not holding, but like at least get through the stages, all you gotta do is just put the hamburgers, the patties, all the way on the trays, as you've seen right now. And at each time you climb, it reminds me a lot of Donkey Kong. And, that kind of makes sense. But it's just very interesting. And, of course, the more you go, then the more things you set up. And basically, you're kind of like making a burger. And it is, something new, at least back then, I don't remember, or at least known a lot, those who had something like this. But in my most of theory, it's a really good game. And of course, this is, a very old SNES, and it's a different time. Now, of course, I bet there are other like burger joints or fast food joints that probably have this in mind. Just to have a mascot, then try to put it out there, see if it sticks or not. And, BurgerTime, it's actually pretty good. The graphics, as I was mentioning a little bit earlier, it's okay. It's good for for a limited time of the SNES. And mostly, my own personal opinion, it's real good. Because, it's just a unique flavor. And the only time that you can actually get, to defend yourself, like I was trying to say, is that, is your pepper shaker. And the only time you can only get that is only when it comes to the bonuses. It's coffee, ice cream, and fries. It's all I can at least remember. The graphics, it's still good because it definitely reminds me of Donkey Kong. And, to me, it's actually really good. And of course, as you try and assemble all your burgers on fries, that's how on plates, not on fries. I don't know if anybody likes their fries on burgers, but it's just a very unique flavor. But that's the only one way to complete the level of each stage. So that way you can assemble the burgers, and I guess the customer takes them. I don't know much about the lore behind BurgerTime, but it's a good one. And of course, I don't know. I think I probably end up mentioning this, but I don't know if the not the SNES but the NES for a limited time. I guess it was trying to make some seasonings or what the case is for this. So, it's just interesting. Now, maybe it was trying to say go vegan, but I don't think that's the case. Or maybe it was just some seasonings, in the meat, because some people like to season their meat. Either, it's just meat or vegan, or plus vegetarian. So, but the interesting is, I guess they didn't have enough time, but, why not some, the enemies is the pickles, but the, tomatoes, That'd be kind of, something very interesting. So, and yes, this game is really hard, for at least a retrospective, like Legend of Zelda: The Adventures of Link hard. And probably for a little bit more modern term, probably be like Dark Souls hard. And that's my only best way to at least mention. And again, I'm not saying this game is bad or anything. It's just okay, and I'm not, the greatest skill at this, but it's still good. Before I forget, as you end up seeing right now, if you stun an enemy and you put in like the toppings or the buns and the patties together, and if the enemies, which is Mr. Pickle, Mr. Hot Dog, and Mr. Egg, at least that's what, as far as I'm aware of, if they're right underneath it, then they can land, and then they get smushed. But the other time is when I was actually playing this for at least a review, I don't know what was going on, or maybe it was some sort of glitch or whatever the case is, but I actually had the enemies stuck and stunned, and they were all landing on top of the button, and or at least on in the middle when it should have counted, but then they were just stunned and moved on. Now again, I don't know if that's just the main mechanic or type of style, but I just want to mention that. But like I said, I just want to head and get this good game, a good rating, at least a good recommendation. So that being said, my Dragon Knights, Dragon Warriors, and Dragonkin, I'll definitely give this game I'll give BurgerTime my review score. There were 45 deaths, 1 stage clear because for some unknown reason, I don't know what was going on or what the case was, but when I was trying to use the analog stick, I mean not the analog stick, but the D-pad, for some unknown reason, he didn't want to move, even though I was telling him to go up, down, left, right, or push something, and the enemies get clear, kills me. But so sorry. I just want to at least make that a little bit of my own thing. So, but that being said, my Dragon Knights, Dragon Warriors, and Dragonkin, I give BurgerTime my Dragon score of Nest It. Alright, my Dragon Knights, Dragon Warriors, and Dragonkin. This is Dragon Knight Dragonborn signing out, and as always, I hope that you at least enjoyed my little bit of review of BurgerTime. As always, don't forget to burn that like button, candle that subscribe button to join the family. Dragon Knights, Dragon Warriors, Dragonkin, like, comment, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so that we never ever miss a new update or new videos heading your way. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful time and wonderful day wherever you are. As always, farewell for now, my Dragon Knights, Dragon Warriors, and Dragonkin. This is Dragon Knight Dragonborn signing out. Please be safe and have a good one.